Hey, Becky here. And if you're new to the channel and you don't know who I am, I'm a trauma-informed relationship coach, and I help female entrepreneurs, leaders, and CEOs reclaim trust and find clarity in themselves within a relationship without any more talk therapy or needing your partner on board. And I'm here with one of my, I'm not supposed to have favorites, but favorite clients, Almira, who has become an amazing friend and sister to me now. And Almira, I want to say welcome to the show. Can you briefly describe who you are and what you do?
Oh my God. Thanks so much for having me. And you're one of my favorites too. Right from when we met, you and I just had this bond. And I am a business coach in a holistic way, working with women on expansion through their feminine, and then also putting together the strategies, the marketing, the money that grows their business from 6 to 7 figures.
Yeah, you're like, not five, no, too low,
Mhm.
six to
Yes.
seven. Can
Yes.
you share where you were before and after working with me on the Root to Rise journey?
Yeah. I think the biggest one, because obviously it was a difficult relationship. That's why you are savior for us. And I did a lot of processing and healing before the end of the relationship and then afterwards. But I remember calling you because I just had racing thoughts. And it was like my body felt like it was in continual chaos. And I was so tired and drained from being in my body. And I'm just like, I don't want to live like this anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And what is it that you tried before finding somatic work? What was your process for trying to
Sure.
achieve peace in that kind of situation?
Talk therapy, and that would be a big one. Yoga is just my natural therapy.
Hmm.
Um, I think talk therapy would be the big one. And oh, books. And also, I didn't realize the type of situation I was in. I think that was such a big one. But it would be talk therapy or just, oh, energy healing was a big one to try and kind of break through whatever I thought I had.
Yeah. So even after trying all of that, it wasn't for a lack of effort.
Yep.
Obviously, you were showing up for yourself, doing everything you could to try to heal. What were the main challenges, even after doing all of that, that you faced before working with me?
Yeah, nothing changed. It felt like I was always coming back to the same situation, but I think it was such an I would say energy overload in my body. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to live like this. And I'm so tired of all of this chaos in my body. I don't like using those words, considering like I've like moved on from all of that. So I'm carefully choosing my words. But yeah, it just felt like chaos and crazy inside of me. And again, I was so tired. Like when I take the shape, it's just like my body feels like I'm just so tired and I can't do this anymore. And that's when I knew I had to do something different. And
Yeah.
I knew all about the work that you were doing. And I said, okay, we have to. For me, it was just, they say you follow God's breadcrumbs and nudges. And it was God saying, you got to do this.
Yeah, and meanwhile, on the outside, nobody would have guessed it. I mean, you're insanely successful on paper in every way that anyone would want to achieve something in life. You've done it. But I know so many high achieving, female founders, CEOs, entrepreneurs. It was my story too, where everything's
Mhm.
so shiny on the outside, but our body feels like chaos. I actually love how
Yeah.
you described that. And so, what does your process for achieving safety in your own nervous system and self-trust look like now
Yeah.
since going through the program?
Yeah. For me, and especially because I felt like I was always walking on eggshells in my past relationship. So I've realized that no matter what, I have to find safety first. Even some days, if it's like, I don't know, I need to go to the grocery store. And sometimes I just need to get my brain on board. Like my body is moving too fast and fight or flight starts for no reason. And so for me, it's box breathing. That's such a big one. And sorry, you might hear my son in the back. It is morning school.
You're good.
Um, but it is box breathing, hand on heart. What would be another one that I do and I often find? Movement, dance, getting into my hips. That would be another big one. And especially because I've got a very intuitive body. And I know sometimes my body just has a message, but I've also recognized that sometimes now it's just my body finding safety. And I also sometimes, funnily enough, I try and calm myself down through my mind. And then I remind myself it's not my mind trying to find safety, it's my body.
Yeah.
And so when I can do that, it's almost like it's a big exhale. Ah, okay. And there's no story around this, as opposed to why can't you get over this? Why is this still living in your body? The self-berating. Um, but it is, I would say box breathing is my biggest tool. And yeah, humming would probably be my second tool, but box breathing for sure.
Yeah, it's fun to hear from different clients which tools resonate,
Ah,
which don't, because
yeah,
I always describe it like a buffet. I'm going to give you everything I can imagine being supportive to your nervous system, but you got to try it on, take what
yeah,
fits, leave what doesn't. For those of us who love shopping and champagne like you, Almira, just imagine you're at this high-end boutique. Box
yes,
breathing, yes, we'll take that. That one works.
yes.
So, can you describe the time commitment needed from your end? Because I know you're a busy mama, business owner. What was the actual time commitment through the program?
It wasn't much. And I think also like mamas and us efficient CEOs, I was listening to the video program where we dive into all the energy centers and the recordings. I was doing it in the car because I just had to, and it was really easily digestible. And then I could pick up the pieces or the exercises when I got home. And honestly, you put as much as you want or feel like you can in there, but you are drawn in. And especially the community. One, there's your coaching, there's the other coaches coaching, but you learned so much. And I think that was the other part of it. And the program is so beautifully structured with, Q&As with you and expert sessions. It's so well curated. But I also learn from the community. And I'm a projector in human design. That's the natural way that I learn through others and seeing others. But you also start to go, wow, that's me too. Or, wow, she did that. I can do that. And so honestly, it's not much time, but you get out what you put into it, as
Yeah.
always. But I would say maybe a couple of hours a week, or of course more if there is two calls in the week, but it's not much. And it's also tools that you can do kind of on the go, if you will, right? Again, busy people. It's not like you're sitting down and having to do some 30 or 40-minute yoga session. It is, especially because there's quick nervous system tools that get you back into your body and into safety. It's a toolbox that you carry with you all the time. It's not just sitting in front of a screen or listening to calls. This is training for life.
Yeah, I love it. A nervous system toolbox you can take and use
Yeah.
on the go.
Yeah.
So, based on your results so far, where do you see yourself in the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah. This one's a funny one because I did a lot of work about healing from the relationship, but I realized, and because the work that you do is transferable to all areas of your life, I'm really doing this on money. I think I've said to you maybe a year ago, and I can't believe I'm still working in it and on the money thing, but it is such a big piece of our lives. And I'm really unpacking money and my nervous system, not money in me, money in my nervous system. So that is one that I'm working on. I've got ease down. I've got ease completely down. But I think I'm working on healing the masculine and healing my relationship with the masculine overall. So that is my big area, is working on receiving, trusting the masculine, and working on the relationship with money. So I'll be a multimillionaire in the next 6 months is my answer to that
Claiming
one.
it. Yes,
Yes,
girl.
absolutely.
I love
But
that you
it's
have
been,
capacity for that too,
yeah,
because like a lot of women come in wanting to give more energy to healing money wounds or breaking through upper limits or scaling their business or even being more present as a mom, which that's a
mhm,
huge part of what I've loved about seeing your journey is what an amazing mom you are. And you get to be even more connected to your buddy
yep,
now.
yep,
And so at first it's this screaming dumpster fire of I need to fix the relationship and we have no energy left over to put into other things like this. But I can't wait to see you continue to soar, and I'm going to fly out to you to toast champagne when you hit that mark.
yes.
Um, Almira, the last question I have for you, which is funny because I've never asked you this personally, but what, if anything, surprised you the most about my coaching? Did you have any doubts or misconceptions before starting with me?
No, and I think the greatest joy has been watching you evolve. You've been even more in your confidence. You're a natural leader, a natural coach. And I think for me, I'm so I've been in my masculine. I'm so results oriented. I'm trying to figure things out. And I've taken your lead. I love when you say, I'm curious. I'm getting curious. And it's like, oh, curiosity lies here. And I think you've also led it from this is not a problem to fix. This is an area of exploration and self-compassion. I think it's what is it that they say is the unseen or the soft side of things. And it's not just, heal the somatic healing. It is also about the intimacy that you have us create with ourselves, the intimacy that you have with us. And I think you are such a beautiful guide, and watching you evolve and grow and expand into everything that you are doing, you are so in your purpose, so in what you should be doing. So this is event essentially saying that if anyone out there is debating whether or not they should do it, do and work with you, do not hesitate, because this is the coach and the community for you, and also where you can feel safe to feel vulnerable, where you may have not have been able to do that before, because it's also not easy to talk to other people about it or to be around other people who understand. And you get all of this with IDBT.
I love you. I loved getting
Mhm.
to witness your transformation and metamorphosis. And the exciting part is in so many ways, it's really just beginning. And this year of getting to see you so in your authenticity and
Mhm.
in your dreams in so many regards, not the original dreams you thought it was going to look like, but even better ones. I'm really cheering for you forever. And thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule today.
Of course, anything for you, anything. This is such an incredible program. You are amazing. I'm just so proud of you. And I love watching all of your success, both external success and the podcast, top 5%. And the program has exploded and everything, but also you are just glowing. Your inner joy, success, everything. It's just, you are just such a joy to be around. And I love you so much.
I love you too. Have a great day, Almira. We'll chat soon.